Welcome to another episode of Expert Matters, where we bring you insights from top professionals to help you navigate your career. Today, we have with us Janvee, an expert in talent acquisition, senior level hiring, leadership hiring, and HR strategy. With extensive experience in recruiting high end technical and leadership roles for Fortune 500 companies, Janvee understands what it takes to find the right talent and build strong teams. In this conversation, we'll dive into the evolving world of recruitment, the role of technology in hiring, and how companies can attract and retain top talent. So let's get started. First of all, welcome, Janvi. Thank you so much for taking our time and joining us.
Hi, Shruti. Thank you so much for introducing me. It's my pleasure that you have invited me here. I hope I can bring some insights on today's podcast. Looking forward to a good discussion.
Even I'm very excited to talk to you because I've gone through the kind of content you post on LinkedIn, the kind of job opportunities you are hiring candidates for, and it's majorly leadership hiring, which is the pool is not available on any so common platforms. It's a big challenging role. So my first and foremost question to you would be, what are the biggest challenges in hiring do you face, especially for the senior level hiring which you're engaged in?
Okay, so regarding the senior roles, it's both challenging and fun to do, right? Anytime a senior role comes, it's very intriguing and challenging at the same time. So I think for the senior positions, it's not just about just sourcing or putting out, keywords and then do a search, because it's very different from that, right? It's different, very different from junior roles. So I think during the initial stage, first of all need to understand what kind of skill set they're looking for. You should have a proper understanding of the JD, and then understanding of have some research also. Prior research would also help you. And after that, I think then you should jump onto the searches and everything. And apart from that, you should just not stick to just Naukri for a senior position. I think LinkedIn plays a very crucial role in this, because on LinkedIn you generally find very quality like candidates there. And apart from that, on senior positions, I think the pool is very niche. So finding the perfect candidate with good skill set is very difficult, right? Like for example, recently we have a position of a head of technology, right? So in that also, finding candidate with the in that set of industry is very difficult, because for senior positions they want somebody who has perfect skill set with they want somebody who comes from the same industry, same expertise. So that becomes a challenge, right? And also the with senior position, the hiring process is a little lengthy, so keeping the candidate engaged is a little difficult, because talking to somebody who is already sitting at such a higher position, somebody who holds 15 to 20 plus of years of experience. I mean, talking to them is I really enjoy talking to these kind of people, because the insights that they bring in, it's really fun to talk to them. And apart from that, I think you need to be very sensitive also with them when you're talking to them. I mean, they sometimes hesitate to tell you their CTC, because it's confidential, right? They do not want to trust you in the first stage. So it's very important to build a recall value with them, that yes, you are somebody that will help you in the hiring process. So I think you need to understand their expectation as well. So I think these are the challenges that we face, and also clients should also understand that during the senior position, it takes a little time. So I think they should also understand that it could be a little time consuming to find that right talent. From also with the senior position, clients look for people who come from top tier colleges, right? Somebody is already sitting at top tier from top tier one college, and their salary expectations also, we need to understand that, right? So I think you need to build a recall value with them, have a good candidate engagement with them. I think then only you can persuade that candidate to move ahead with that role.
Definitely. So, what you have mentioned, you definitely love your job a lot. You spend a lot of time thinking about the background activities as well. You've mentioned how do you find the right candidates for the top companies, top clients you're working with, and what are the top best ways to source candidates. Could be building a connection, could be building a network, using Naukri portal. But beyond that, for leadership hiring, you suggested to use LinkedIn Recruiter and LinkedIn in general. My next question to you would be, coming from what we have just discussed, that you ensure the both the ends, candidates and clients as well. So how do you make sure both candidates and clients have a very smooth hiring process?
So I think it's very important to understand the expectation of both the sides, like right, the candidates as well as clients, that what the client is looking for in a job, about the skill set, the primary KRAs, right? And also we should understand about what the candidate is looking for, their motivation factor, like why would they want to move ahead with this role, be it terms of professional growth or personal growth or financial growth, right? So we need to understand both ends of the sides. So during the hiring process, first we need to like understand what the client is looking for, right? Like what kind of skill set, if they want somebody who comes from a top tier college, then what is their location preference, and if they want somebody who comes from the same domain, because there are companies who want somebody, if for example, if you're looking for a client who is into who is a manufacturing company, right? So they want somebody who comes from a manufacturing setup for a culture fitment, right? So we need to ensure that as well, because after that, culture fitment, it would be an issue. And if we talk about candidate as well, we need to ensure that they get something better, right, in their current job, be it in terms of roles and responsibilities, or in their designation, or in terms of financial growth, right? And also I think during my career in this HR, I have found a flaw that the companies have very lengthy hiring process, right? So it is very difficult to engage our candidates, that they keep on asking like, what's the next step? What's the next step? So I think it's very important for us to keep the candidate engaged, because sometimes the client, the feedback gets delayed from the clients and as well. So it's a dilemma for us also, because we need to keep we cannot push our client that what's happening, and we need to engage our candidate as well. So I think it's very important for the client to understand that if a candidate is an active job seeker, and if he or she has a 90 days, so they will find somebody, will hire them. What if somebody hires them in in just 2 or 3 rounds, and if they are taking 7 or 8 rounds, so that would be a plus for them. If they would definitely join somebody who has a small process, and they would definitely prefer that. So I think they need to understand that candidate, if he or she is an active job seeker, they would want someone who would want they join early, right? So we need to understand that as well. And apart from that, to ensure a smooth hiring process for both client and candidate, we need to understand both the parties. So I think I ensure that I keep the candidate engaged as well, and I also ensure to give them the right feedback. If he is shortlisted or not shortlisted, I try to tell them that yes, this is the process that we are going, the client has is taking a little time. So because as I mentioned earlier as well, it's very important to keep the recall value with the candidate also, because they might help you in the near future. So I think it's very important to build the recall value with them. So yeah, I think we need to understand both the ends of the
Definitely a good point. I myself was reading a post on LinkedIn a few days back, and because of delayed interview process, a lot of leadership candidates, senior level candidates, they miss out on the right opportunity, because these candidates, these senior leaders, they're actively interviewing for a lot of companies altogether. Right. So the talent is very limited, but at the same time, opportunities are a lot of them. A lot of opportunities are there for them. So delayed interview process is definitely a good point. And when you are communicating this, when you are able to identify as a talent acquisition professional, and if you're able to connect the dots and inform the client, that's a great way to deal with the process. Second, what you mentioned, keeping the candidates engaged is definitely a biggest flaw which all of HRs are getting blamed for. That the candidates don't get any feedback if they're rejected. They keep on waiting
Right.
for the job opportunity, and then they don't hear back from the HRs. So it's great to keep your candidates engaged and informed about each and every step. Rather it be delayed, it could be negative, it could be anything, but just uh,
Yeah, I
keeping them
think
informed. Right.
right. I think as a HR professional, it's very important for us to tell the candidate, yes, like if you're shortlisted or not. And sometimes we do not have a proper feedback for them, but I think it's very important to give them a clarity that, yes, this is the feedback regarding profile, and we will not be able to ahead with your candidature. And on LinkedIn also, I see a lot of trolls regarding HR that,
Correct.
HR never will get back to you. This is a tagline for all the HRs, right? So I think it's very important for us to eliminate that if we can try. So because HRs are the primary they're the primary like stakeholders, right? So I think it's very important for us to keep the candidate engaged and understand their needs as well.
So while we are discussing this, Janvi, I just realized that HR, and I've actually read a lot of articles about it, that HR is not just being a coordinator or a desk or a receptionist job as of now. It has grew beyond a strategic role, and company leaders are sitting in the board meetings. They are all HR professionals, taking part in the business initiatives, market strategies, each and every function of the business. So we not only just provide feedback to our candidates, but at the same time, we are shaping their careers. So this was the mistake
Right.
in your current job interview. Now this you can improve in your next interview with next company. So
Right.
that really helps to the candidate with each and every, and you also make a long-term impact on that candidate.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yes. So with this, because we're discussing this, and hiring for a single company, for our own company, is also biggest challenge, because when we hire 10 to 12 candidates a month or maybe a quarter, it's anyway very hectic process of conducting interviews, formalities, documents. But when you're in a recruitment setup where you're hiring for your clients,
Right.
how do you handle candidate rejection? I mean, candidates dropping off at the last minute, or maybe rejecting offers while they were interested till the interview, and the final round of interview.
I mean, Shruti, I think it's the biggest nightmare for a recruiter when a candidate drops at the last moment, right? Be the offer dropout or a joining dropout. I think it is really demotivating for any HR professional that the candidate will not be joining. Be it any reason, like that suddenly they have any medical emergency or any personal reason that comes up that they will not be able to relocate or anything, right? But I think. There are a lot of factors that promote to this, because they might have got retained, or they might have got any better opportunity in terms of compensation, or also about relocation. Nowadays, companies still there's certain companies, they still stick to work from home or hybrid opportunities, right? So I think they would prefer that. So and also it's very important, very difficult to eliminate that offer dropouts or joining dropouts. I mean, we have worked hard, we have given everything, and we thought that yes, he or she might be the perfect fit for this role. And when that candidate says that I'm sorry, Janvi, I will not be able to join, so that hurts a lot. But I think in order to reduce that, first of all, we should always try to keep another candidates. We need to keep other candidates also warm that yes, we have this position, and we are still working on it, and like we can try to keep a backup for that role, because starting the entire recruitment process from scratch, all your efforts have gone into vain, because that will take a lot of time, right? Another 2 3 months, and doing the same thing again and again. So I think you should try to keep a backup for that role, because if you will only stick to one candidate, and that if that candidate drop out, and answering to the client that he or she will not be joining, will will hurt us and hurt the client as well, right?
It's
So
a
I think
disaster. It's a
right.
nightmare for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, every HR professional can relate to me, because this is a nightmare situation for everybody. So I think you should try to have a backup for that role, like. Somebody who of a similar profile. I mean, we were, for example, like we had one position and we were working on that role. So we had two candidates. I mean, both of them were perfect for that role, but they shortlisted somebody who was liked by all the managers, but they didn't reject that other candidate, but they like said, if we come up with any other position, we will definitely try to offer you that one, right? So I think creating a backup helps, reduce the of like chances, like the lengthy hiring process. It will try, we can try to minimize that. And I think uh, also like internal referrals, sometimes clients keep a backup also, like with them. They have internal sources that, they have referrals also, so I think they can use that as well. But I am not sure if there is any way we can eliminate totally the offer or joining dropouts ratio.
Once we find out, it's never, I mean, going to be the same nightmare again. Do you think candidate engagement plays a crucial role to reduce offer dropouts?
I think yes, definitely. Like whenever you talk to the candidate, like if, for example, if they have 90 days or 60 days of notice period, which is a very long time, right? And keeping the candidate in loop every time that yes, this is the next process, when they're offered, and during the onboarding process, like from the initial interview phase to the onboarding process, so we should always try to keep in touch with them. And not just for only for the professional reason. If you have any festival, for example Holi, Diwali, you should try to wish them, so that they also remember that yes, Janvee wished me. They also have that in mind ki ha yaar wo recruiter thi hai na. So they, like, I think there are many candidates जो आपको याद रखते हैं ना कि यार वो recruiter थी, उसने help किया था. So that feedback, that also helps you in the near future, not only during the joining process, but कुछ लोग आपको उसके बाद भी याद रखते हैं. So that brings a little happiness to us as well कि हाँ यार वो candidate को अभी भी याद है. So candidate engagement is a very important process, and it really helps. I mean, it cannot eliminate, but it does help you to minimize the offer dropouts and joining ratio.
Definitely. We have discussed challenges. We have discussed what are the ways to source candidates, what are the problems that you face, what could be the alternatives. We have discussed the biggest nightmare of an HR. We have discussed the candidate engagement process. So now my question is going to be directly to sourcing. What are the best tools for sourcing or for, say, hiring and recruitment in general?
So, like usually, I think many recruiters stick to Naukri.com, right? I mean, it's a biggest savior for us. We usually use Naukri.com, but sometimes I think, what if Naukri doesn't work? There's a glitch, sometimes what if it does not work? So I think there are ways like LinkedIn Recruiter is a way, right? And I think X-ray searches, Google searches are other ways that where you can find good quality of candidates. And also when you use LinkedIn, you can build your own network, right? Where you can like whenever you post something on LinkedIn or connect with a candidate, so I think it helps you build your own network. And apart from that, networking and referrals also help, right? What if you if when you like, as I mentioned in the candidate engagement also, like when you stay in touch with the candidate, you can ask like if there's a very crucial position, and you can ask that candidate, like if you have anybody in your network, you can let us know, like if that candidate would be interested, right? So I think referrals also play a very important part. And keeping a internal database, wherein you, like, for example, if you've reached a candidate 1 year back, so you can reach out to that candidate again if he or she will be interested or not. So I think keeping an internal database also helps you identifying a good good candidate. what if he or she joins in and gets selected also. So I think apart from Naukri, you should always try to identifying other tools also, because I think everything has its own timeline. So I'm not sure if Naukri will be there forever. There will be other tools which will come in picture. So I think an HR should always try to look out for another tools also, because I think it's very important for the for our professional development also, right? Because since AI is also coming into picture, so I think we should keep ourselves updated with other tools as well, and not just stick to one tool for hiring.
Correct. Definitely, we should. Find out the possibility of each and every alternative we have. While we talked about database, how do you think data is important in making decisions for better hiring decisions and the entire better sourcing strategies?
I think data, like keeping your data, keeping every data, I think it's very important. Like what kind of clients you're working on, what roles you've been working on with that client. Because, like for example, you have 10 clients or 10 for a single role. But if you have 10 clients, right? So keeping a data of each and everything will help you understand that how much delivery you want and on that role, and what's the process that is going on that client. And if I talk about regarding the candidate, like how many candidates are there in the process, if you need any backup for that candidate, it will help you, right, to minimize the offer or joining decline. And also apart from that, it while sharing the if what if the clients ask that what is the process of each and every candidate. For example, there are 10 candidates that you have sourced for one single role, right? And you do not remember what is the current phase going on. So I think you can create a dashboard for that, and like give them a picture that yes, this is the process that is currently going on. And you can let them know that yes, if whether the candidate was rejected, if he's shortlisted for the next round. So you can have a clear picture of what is currently going on in terms of the client as well, and in terms of candidate. And also keeping a track of how many candidates are there, and keeping a track of your own data, like internal data. Like if a candidate is not interested, and like you can try to reach him out like after 6 months or after a year. What if he or she is now actively looking out for a change? So I think database helps you in a lot of ways, not in just of terms of candidate, but yeah, in terms of client engagement also, because you will have a clear picture of everything about. You can reach out to the earlier candidates also, and you can bring that data to the client that yes, this is the thing that are going on. And if you need help with that like for example, you're not able to source good quality of candidates, right? You have like the pool has been reached out, or there's nothing that you're able to bring out to the client, right? So I think you can display that data to the client, that yes, these are the problems that we are facing, these are the candidates that we have reached out, this is the current competitive salary that they are getting. And according to that, maybe client can give you certain things that yes, maybe you can enhance the increase the salary range, or probably industry, you can keep the industry open. So according to that, you can negotiate with the client that yes, these are the challenges that we are facing, so maybe we can work out on that. So I think in that terms also it helps, the data also helps.
So a very interesting point. As we move higher in the ladder of hiring,
Right.
say for example, if I am hiring for very junior roles, fresher roles, so my focus is going to be on the quantity because there are a lot of freshers in the industry.
Right.
But when I move to the leadership hiring and senior level hiring, my focus becomes and concentrates more on quality of the profiles. In that case, data proves to be a highest motivator for recruiters as well, because when we are putting a lot of hours, a lot of days, in some cases weeks and months, and when we are not able to get results, this data of rejected and failed attempts is something which keeps us going, because the quality of content, the quality of work which we have done, the research, the background efforts which we have put is more convincing for us individually to keep going on that role, rather than just having 10, 15 sourced candidates and in the interview
Right.
process. Let's talk about jobs in the hiring industry. That's a very critical statement to make, but let's talk about it. What do you think, in your opinion, what is more important, years of experience on paper or the skill set in HR industry, or say, for example, talent acquisition process?
I think, Shruti, if I talk about skills or experience, I think they both play a very important role because, like, for I have worked on a lot of roles for a lot of clients, right? And I always try to see, how, like, pay parity will see in every industry, right? So sometimes what happens is, like, if I'm sourcing for a role, and like, it's, for example, there's a candidate who has experience of 10 years, right? There are certain candidates who have great experience, good skill set, है ना? Everything is perfect, and they're earning, like, like, they are earning a lot, right? They have a competitive salary. But sometimes you'll see there are people with similar skill set, but in 10 years they'll be earning 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. So I think, uh, in terms of experience also, but skills are very important. If you are not going to upskill yourself, if you're not going with the market, right? So I'm not sure if you will be able to succeed, right? So you cannot just stick to one path. You need to move with the market, move with the trends that are going, not in just HR industry, in every industry. You will see in software development or in any digital roles, there are a lot of automation, that is going on. And if you're not going to upskill yourself, not going to understand what the role demands, I'm not sure that you will be able to, even if you have gained experience, the skill set, you will be lacking. If you're lacking the skill set, you will not be able to achieve a lot of professional growth. Because as I mentioned, like, there are people in the same industry who who are at the same level of experience, but you will see a lot of pay parity in that. If somebody would be earning more than 30 to 40 lakhs, and in that same level of experience somebody would be earning less. So I think skill is a very important thing that you need to have in HR industry or any other industry. And I think a lot of people say that AI is going to take your job. For recruiters as well, that AI is going to replace you. I think if you are not going in hand with the trends that are going in the market, so maybe you might get replaced. But I think if you are learning, you have that constant zeal of learning, you are upskilling yourself, going with the trends. So I don't think so that AI will be able to replace you. And for HR jobs, you need to have that soft skill. You like, in the screening call also, you need to understand what the candidate's trajectory is, what kind of education he holds, and what kind of behavior he has. I think behavior skills are, like, assessing the candidate's behavior is also very important. Because in the early stages, if you do not do that, the chances of offer dropouts or joining dropouts will be there, right? So I think AI is not going to assess that. And many companies use ATS, right, nowadays, to eliminate the CVs. But uh, I think that is a drawback for, as far as I understand. Because if you're not just taking the keywords and then eliminating the CVs, you're not going to understand what the what candidate experience holds. So I think that recruiter will be able to assess that better. Because when you screen the CV, you think he might be a good fit, and when you call that candidate and understand about his role, about his experience, and then you can understand, right? So I think AI will not be able to do that. He might be able to do that by 20 to 30%, I think, but 100% would only a human would be able to do that, right? So I think you need to upskill yourself, go with the market. Then only you will be able to have in the same experience and skill set, you will be able to grow professionally and financially as well.
Truly informative. You have covered all the aspects of it. My last question to you, Janvi, would be, any piece of advice do you have for the viewers or students who are watching this video?
I think there are a lot of Gen Zs now, right? So they think that they want something very, they want the demand for the job is very different, right? They want work-life balance, they want comfort as well. But I think when you enter a job market, I'm not. I think for your initial years, I don't think so. You should look for comfort in a job, right? Because a job can be monotonous. You think, why I am stuck here, why I'm doing a 9 to 5, I should be traveling, right? Because every Gen Z thinks like that. But I think if you need to succeed, you need to have a stability in your career. You need to understand that you will be building your career. You will be like networking with a lot of people. When you talk to a lot of people, you understand what kind of role they're sitting at, how much from they have started from scratch. So networking will help you build your career also in a professional manner. And also a job gets monotonous. I totally understand, but I think in order to grow professionally and personally as well, you need to give everything to. And I think you should be accountable for your career initially. I think for a fresher, strong work ethics and accountability plays a very important role. So whenever you enter, like if any fresher is watching this, so if you enter a job market, enter your new job, so keeping your work ethic strong, and you should be accountable to your work, that you and should be honest to your work, right? And if you're honest, your quality of work will be recognized. You will be recognized that yes, he or she is doing the work and is honest to their work, right? So like I think work ethic and accountability will also play a very important role. So, and it's not like I think it's been 2 years that I've been working, and it's my first job. But everybody at some point it does get monotonous, but time changes. And whenever you talk to new you get to interact with a lot of people in your company as well, and with other people. So I think you get to learn a lot, and you will enjoy. Initially, it might get a little difficult, but in the later stages, you will definitely enjoy whatever you're doing.
Great session, Janvee. That was incredibly insightful. I personally loved it, loved the discussion. I think from hiring strategies to the impact of technology in recruitment, importance of networking, candidate engagement, hiring strategies, offer dropouts reduction, trends, market research, tools, technologies, accountability, hard work, accountability in work ethics, AI, we have covered each and every aspect of HR and beyond. So I think great session. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for sharing some valuable tips that is going to help the viewers and of course me as well to stay ahead in today's competitive job market and of course HR industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shruti. I really enjoyed, and it was a great session for me as well. I hope the viewers also enjoy it. Thank you so much for having me. It was a delight for me.
Thank you so much, Janvee. All the viewers who are watching this session, if you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for Expert Matters. Hit a like, hit a connection request to Janvee on LinkedIn. The link of her LinkedIn profile is mentioned in the description. And drop your questions in the comments and let us know what all topics would you like to cover next from us. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode of Expert Matters. Thank you so much, Janvee, for joining in again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.